Hey guys, it's Mike, and everything sucks. So, I wanted to do a video about new info that we have for PSO2 New Genesis. I am actually a really huge fan of Phantasy Star. I have played it since the beginning when it was on Dreamcast. I put in hours on the original PSO2 that came out for Dreamcast. I've also played Phantasy Star Universe, so on and so forth. I've pretty much played all of them. So I am extremely excited about New Genesis. I have, it's kind of funny. I've actually been playing the crap out of PSO2, and I remember after playing the beta, one of the things that I said in the survey that they gave us afterwards, and my buddy said the same thing. Love the game. It's great. Really wish you could do something about the graphics because it's a 13-year-old game, but I understand that that's not possible, but it would be nice. Lo and behold, a little bit later, Sega comes through and says, look, we're remaking it with a new graphics engine that is going to go through for New Genesis and regular PSO2. So for anybody that doesn't know, they're actually going to be separate games. PSO2 is not getting replaced. You will still be able to play that with updated graphics. It will actually have the New Genesis graphics, and you can actually switch between both. The reason being is New Genesis actually takes place story-wise 1,000 years after Phantasy Star Online 2. So it just wouldn't fit basically to take over or even just, I guess, make. You could basically look at this as PSO3. That's kind of the way I look at it. It's pretty much a brand new game. I mean, it's a new engine, it's a new combat, new characters, new everything. It's basically PSO3 without calling it that. But anyway, so it looks like we have some more info here that the areas will be open fields, as you can see. You basically have, I guess, like your typical MMORPG, where now you have these huge open fields that you can move around in. The normal PSO2 is normally about, if for people that haven't played it, it's normally you go to like a hub, which will then you pick the missions that you want to go to. And then when you go into the missions, they can be somewhat open depending on the mission, but it's generally straightforward. Hey, you have some branching paths you can go on to that usually leads to dead ends, but there's one path to get to the end and get to the boss. Here, it seems that not only will we have free roam, as you just saw, there are now day and night cycles. Now, they haven't announced anything about like maybe villages or anything like that we'll get to see that, but you will still have your lobbies and hubs where people will gather to form parties like PSO2. Now, it actually looks, I just saw that, it looks like they have weather. That's really cool. I didn't realize that. Now, I'm really hoping with these vast open fields, I do see them doing the dash, as a new movement ability. I'm sorry, having played a lot of, big RPGs, MMOs and stuff, that is not going to be fast enough. That is not going to be near fast enough, which is why I'm really excited that they could probably add vehicles to this game now that it's open world. We could be seeing like hoverboards or like maybe the ride droids that were introduced in PSO2. Just, I'm really excited about this game if you can't tell. So anyway, the open world looks great. We don't know too much aside from the fact that the enemies just kind of spawn and everybody's just kind of there. I don't know if they're going to do it before, like the way, again, I've explained this, anybody who hasn't played it, PSO2, the way it works is you could do a party of 4, but when you're in an area, there could be a maximum of 12 people. So basically 3 full parties can be in that area and help each other in a way, even though you're all not in the same party. So I don't know how they're going to change that. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed this. It looks like it's going to be within a section is going to be 8. So, 4 less. So that kind of sucks because you would figure, I would hope with free roam, maybe they can open that up later and add more people. We'll have to see. But some of the highlights, as we've seen, is there's going to be day and night cycle and weather, which is nice. 2 new actions, the dash and the glide. As I said, that's not going to be enough, but I have a feeling Sega's going to add vehicles later. I don't know why it's important there are healing items scattered around the field. We didn't have that in PSO2. You kind of were on your own with items, but so it looks like you got your exploration sections and fighting sections focused on enemies. That's a little weird. I was hoping that New Genesis would have kind of done away with the way PSO does that and actually just kind of combined everything, but we'll see. It might actually work out pretty well. They're usually pretty good about this stuff. Cooking, but I don't even care about cooking in PSO2. I think it's kind of they give you a boost, but I still think it's kind of a waste of time usually. So it looks like also the 3 classes that we are going to get is going to be very basic, just like how PSO started out. You'll get the Hunter, the Ranger, and the Force. which to me isn't that big a deal. They're going to add more later. I have a feeling what they might do is do like the original PSO. With PSO2, a lot of the classes are very specified. It used to be before that a hunter could pretty much use any kind of melee weapon. It was just, that's what it was. Like you wanted to use a sword or a double saber or dual sabers or dual daggers. Didn't matter. You just had to be a hunter. Now it's like, well, if you want to do that, you have to be either be a braver, you have to be this. There's all these subclasses that to me didn't really do much aside from just break up what the hunter could do, I guess. Same thing happened with the ranger. Like you have the ranger and the gunner in PSO2, but the only main difference is the gunner is a little bit faster and they use dualies, basically, instead of like rifles and launchers. So again, I think you're going to be able to do all that. It's just they're cutting down on all the extra classes that they don't need. It'll be just the hunter will be able to use all of the weapons. As we can see right here in the screenshot, you can see the two hunters. One's using dual daggers, one's using dual sabers. That one is, I think that's a force user. I can't really tell. That might be a force user right there because, yeah, it looks like a staff there. But then you have your ranger. So I think I'm hoping that's what they're going to do, is they're going to basically go back to the old school way where it was just, they could add subclasses. I would actually like to see subclasses as opposed to new classes, to where you're a hunter, but then you could be a subclass dedicated to dual wielding or something like that. That would be really, really cool. So anyway, it looks like now they are getting rid of something that we've had in PSO for a long time. There are no longer no perfect attacks. And again, for people that haven't played PSO2 or any of the other PSOs, what it is when you attack, you'll actually see this aura around your character. And if you attack in your combo at the right time you hit X, you actually do more damage. It's kind of like doing a critical strike, but you get to control it. So it looks like that is gone now, to where you are basically just smacking the enemy, mashing the button. Which I will admit is a little worrisome for me, because generally when games do stuff like that, it's because they are trying to get the casuals in. And I'm weird about casuals. I think everybody should be able to game, but it's if you're having trouble with the game, it's not the developer's job to help you. It's just, I know it sounds bad, but it's the get good thing. It's just get good. There are tons of Nintendo games that I never beat because I just wasn't good enough and the games were too damn hard. I didn't piss and moan and say, give me a beat the game button, but we'll have to find out more as it goes along. So it looks like, I also don't like this. The Ranger's Assault Rifle does damage based on your distance. Like the sliding shot has actually existed in PSO2. It's probably a little bit better now in this one. But I don't like the fact that it's going to be varied on the distance. I can understand to a point. Again, they're still not giving us enough info. We need to see more like this happens. Like, okay, so like, how well are they going to do the distance? Like, I understand they'll do like certain shotguns can only reach a certain range and stuff like that, but it's going to be weird to see that with RPG elements. I do like this, that the Force's Rod can attack multiple targets or multiple elements by utilizing techniques. Charge techniques deal more and different damage. Without a charge, the rod will shoot fire or ice objects flying towards the enemy. That's kind of nice, because rods don't really do much for anybody at this point. Now, it does look like they said that enemies are going to spawn at random in the combat areas. It'll pop up to show you, kind of like, I guess, most MMOs, how they work, like when an event, like even Destiny, when an event comes in, they let you know. It's like, bam, incoming event, here it is, take a look. So, basically, I still think that we need a little more info. This is nice that we've gotten a little bit more, but they are really trickling this stuff down very, very slowly to us. And it's kind of like, damn it, guys, you're still working on it, aren't you? I mean, granted, we have till 2021, but I was hoping that most of the engine would be done at this point. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Remember to leave a like and subscribe for more.